I'm Mrs. C, and this is Math Defined. In this video, I will show you how to multiply a positive integer to a negative integer. And if you stick around until the end of this video, I'll prove to you that the rule for multiplying integers with different signs really does work. Here we have positive 5 multiplied by negative 3. Before you multiply 5 times 3, take a moment to think about whether your answer or product will be negative or positive. The rule when multiplying positive and negative integers is that a positive times a negative will always equal a negative product or answer. Since the 5 is positive and the 3 is negative, that means that our product will be negative. So now all you have to do is multiply 5 times 3, which is 15, and you already know that the product will be negative, so your final answer is negative 15. Let's do another example. Now you have negative 2 times positive 6. Before you multiply, again, take a moment to consider whether your product will be positive or negative. Since the 2 is negative and the 6 is positive, your product will be negative. So now you can multiply 2 times 6 to get 12, and the product will be negative, so your answer will be negative 12. Many times, though, people wonder why the rules for multiplying integers even work. Is it just some made-up rule, or is there some actual proof that shows these rules really do work out? Well, you can use integer counters to prove why a positive integer times a negative integer works. So let's do it. In this expression, positive 5 times negative 3 means that you have 5 groups of negative 3. So we'll use the red counters to make a group of negative 3. The expression states that you have 5 of these groups, so let's make 4 more groups of negative 3. Here's the second group, now the third, the fourth, and the fifth group. All that is left to do now is to count the number of counters. You have 15 red counters, which means your product is negative 15, just like it was when you followed the rule for multiplying integers before. Now this time, the negative integer is the first factor or number in the expression. To make using the counters easier, you can use the commutative property to rewrite an equal or equivalent expression. Remember, the commutative property allows you to change the order of the factors or numbers in a multiplication problem. So you can switch the order of 6 and negative 2 to make the expression read as positive 6 times negative 2, which again is equivalent to negative 2 times positive 6. So we need to show 6 groups of negative 2. So here's the first group of negative 2. The second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth group. So just like in the last problem, all that is left to do now is to count the number of red counters, and you can easily see your answer of negative 12. But let's look at this multiplication problem again. This time, we are not going to use the commutative property. When you don't use the commutative property to rewrite the expression, then the negative 2 as the first term in the expression means to remove 2 groups of positive 6. Any negative sign in the first term of a multiplication expression means to remove or take away. But you can't remove something without having anything to remove. And right now you have nothing. So instead, you will need to create 2 groups of 6 by using 0 pairs. Remember, a 0 pair is when you have one negative counter paired with one positive counter. So let's do that now. Here is the first 0 pair for that first group of 6. Notice how the negative counter is paired with a positive counter, giving the pair a value of 0. We need to add 5 more 0 pairs to make this first group of 6. Then we still need to use 6 more 0 pairs to make that second group of 6. Now we have 2 groups of 6 0 pairs, which gives us enough counters to remove 2 groups of positive 6. So let's circle those 2 groups of positive 6. Here's the first group, now the second group. We'll remove these completely off the screen here, and now you can see that you have 12 negative counters left, giving you that product of negative 12. As you can see, it's a lot easier to just remember the rule that when you multiply a positive number to a negative number, your product will always be negative. But at least now you have proof that this rule works. I hope this video helped you better understand how to multiply a positive integer with a negative one. You can check out more of my math videos at Math Defined. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.